The autumn sun cast golden light through the trees in Central Park as Victoria Chambers sat on a bench, grateful for a rare afternoon away from her corner office. At 37, she was the CEO of Chambers Media Group, a position she had fought hard to achieve after building the company from nothing. But success had come at a price. She had no family, few friends, and an emptiness that no amount of professional achievement could fill. She was scrolling through emails on her phone when a small voice interrupted her thoughts. "Excuse me, pretty lady?" Victoria looked up to find a little girl standing in front of her, perhaps 3 years old, with blonde curls catching the sunlight. She wore a pink dress with a white cardigan and clutched a worn teddy bear to her chest. But what caught Victoria's attention, what made her breath stop completely, was the necklace the child wore. A distinctive gold locket with an intricate rose design, hanging from a delicate chain. Victoria knew that necklace. She had given it away 5 years ago under circumstances that still haunted her dreams. "Hello?" Victoria managed, her voice unsteady. "Are you here with someone?" The little girl nodded toward a young woman sitting on a nearby bench, watching them carefully but not interfering. "That's Miss Sarah. She's my nanny. But I wanted to talk to you because you look sad, and my mommy says we should try to make sad people feel better." "That's very kind of you," Victoria said, unable to take her eyes off the necklace. "What's your name?" "I'm Emma," the little girl said proudly. "I'm 3.5 years old." "What's your name?" "I'm Victoria." "That's a beautiful necklace you're wearing, Emma." Emma touched the locket with reverence. "My mommy gave it to me before she went to heaven. Daddy says it was very special to her, that it was a gift from someone important. I wear it every day so Mommy can be close to me." Victoria felt tears prick her eyes. 5 years ago, she had made the hardest decision of her life. She had given up her daughter for adoption because she was 29, building a company, and her boyfriend had left when she got pregnant. She had been terrified and alone, convinced she could not give her baby the life she deserved. The adoption had been closed, but Victoria had left one thing with her daughter, the gold rose locket that her own mother had given her, the only truly precious thing she owned. "Emma, sweetheart, where's your father?" Victoria asked, her voice trembling. "He's coming," Emma said. "He had to get my toy from the car. But I wanted to ask you something. Can you be my mom for just one day? Daddy's sad because I don't have a mommy, and I'm sad too. If you could be my mommy for just today, maybe we could all be happy together." The innocent request broke something open inside Victoria. This was her daughter. This precious child with her blonde hair and her teddy bear and her kind heart was the baby she had held for 10 minutes before saying goodbye forever. "Emma!" a man's voice called out. And Victoria looked up to see a man approaching, probably in his late 30s, handsome in a rugged way, wearing jeans and a sweater. His expression was concerned but not angry. "I've told you not to bother strangers." He reached them and gently took Emma's hand. "I'm so sorry. She's very friendly and sometimes doesn't understand boundaries." Victoria stood up, and as she did, the man's eyes fell on her face, and he froze completely. Recognition flashed across his features, followed by shock. "Victoria?" he said, his voice barely a whisper. Victoria stared at him, and suddenly pieces clicked into place. Andrew Chen?" They had known each other briefly years ago, working at the same company before Victoria left to start her own business. But she had not seen him since, had not known he was connected to her past. "You adopted Emma," Victoria said, and it was not a question. Andrew looked at the necklace around Emma's neck, then back at Victoria, understanding dawning. "The locket. You're Emma's birth mother. You left this for her." Emma looked between them with confusion. "You know each other." Andrew knelt down to Emma's level. "Emma, sweetheart, can you go play with Miss Sarah for a few minutes? I need to talk to this lady about something important." Emma hesitated, then nodded and skipped back to her nanny. Andrew and Victoria sat on the bench, a careful distance between them, both struggling to process what was happening. "My wife and I adopted Emma when she was 3 days old," Andrew said quietly. "The adoption agency said the birth mother was young, scared, wanted a better life for her baby. They gave us the locket with strict instructions that Emma should have it when she was old enough to understand. My wife, Rebecca, she treasured that locket. When she was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago, one of the first things she did was put it around Emma's neck. She died 6 months later. Victoria felt tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I never knew who adopted her, where she went, if she was happy. She's been very happy, Andrew said. Rebecca and I loved her from the moment we saw her. We gave her everything we could. But losing Rebecca was devastating. For both of us. Emma asks about her mother every day, and I don't know how to fill that void. When I gave her up, Victoria said, I was 29, alone, terrified. I had just started my company, had no support system, no money. I convinced myself I was doing the right thing, giving her to people who could provide for her better than I could. But I've regretted it every day since. I've built this successful company, achieved everything I set out to achieve, and none of it matters because I gave away the only thing that was truly precious. Andrew was quiet for a long moment. Emma asked you to be her mother for a day. What if I asked you to be her mother for longer than that? Victoria looked at him in shock. What? I've been alone with Emma for 18 months, Andrew said. I'm trying my best, but I'm drowning. She needs a mother figure, someone who can teach her things I can't. And you're her birth mother. You gave her that locket because it was precious to you. Maybe this isn't a coincidence. Maybe this is fate giving you all a second chance. You can't be serious, Victoria whispered. You don't know anything about me now. I'm a workaholic CEO who barely has time to eat, let alone raise a child. Then maybe it's time to reprioritize, Andrew said gently. I'm not asking you to decide right now. I'm asking you to consider getting to know Emma. Let her get to know you. See if maybe what she needs and what you need are the same thing. Over the following weeks, Victoria began spending time with Andrew and Emma. At first, it was just afternoon visits to the park, then dinners, then weekends. Emma was drawn to Victoria with an instinct that felt like recognition, even though the child had no memory of being held by her birth mother as a newborn. Victoria learned that Emma loved stories and painting and asking endless questions about everything. Andrew learned that Victoria had spent 5 years building a media empire while grieving the daughter she thought she would never see again. That her success had been driven by the need to prove she could have given her daughter a good life if she had kept her. 6 months after that first meeting in the park, Andrew asked Victoria to move in with them, not as a romantic partner, but as Emma's mother. 3 months after that, they fell in love. Discovering that the bond formed through shared love for Emma had evolved into something deeper. A year after Victoria sat on that park bench and saw her daughter wearing her mother's locket, Andrew proposed to Victoria in the same spot, with Emma holding the rings and announcing to everyone around that her mommy and daddy were getting married. You asked me to be your mom for just one day, Victoria said to Emma on their wedding day, both of them wearing matching dresses, Emma's hands wrapped around the gold locket. And I'm going to be your mom for the rest of your life if that's okay with you. That's very okay, Emma said seriously. I knew you were my mommy the first time I saw you. The necklace told me. Sometimes the things we give away find their way back to us, carrying with them second chances we thought we had lost forever. And sometimes a child's simple request for one day of love opens the door to a lifetime of it, healing wounds we thought were permanent and building families from the broken pieces of our past. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of second chances, adoption reunions, and discovering that sometimes what we thought we lost forever was just waiting for the right moment to find its way home. Comment below and share about a time when something precious returned to you or when a chance encounter changed your life completely. Your story could give someone else hope that it's never too late for second chances.